Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Soulful Saturdays with Sailor. I am so grateful you're here, taking a moment of your time to be with me, and you're taking a moment for yourself. Cheers to that. So let's get real for a moment. The holiday season is in full swing. Woohoo! Yes, it is. You know, the holidays have this magical way of bringing out both the best and the mess in all of us. One moment you're soaking in the twinkle lights, feeling grateful, grounded, heart wide open. And the next, someone at the dinner table drops a comment that lands just right. And suddenly, your peace is up for negotiation. And there it is, that familiar little urge to prove your point, to correct, to defend your truth, to remind them, maybe not out loud, but definitely in your head, that you are right. But here's the thing, I've learned on my own journey, being right almost never brings peace. Grace does. So today we're diving into something we all face this time of the year, choosing grace over being right, choosing peace over pride, choosing emotional freedom over the need to win in the moment. Because let's be honest, when the mashed potatoes are cold and the conversation gets hot, that's when your growth shows up. That's when you get to decide who really is in charge, your ego or your peace. Let's talk about the truth that we don't always want to admit. We all have that part of us that just wants to be seen, wants to be heard, wants to be understood. Not later, not eventually, right now. And listen, that's not a flaw, that's human. That's the little piece of us that still reminds us the moment that we felt dismissed, overlooked, or taken over. It's just a reminder. It makes sense that part of us wants to rise up and say, wait a minute, hear me. But here's where it gets messy. When that need to be right takes the wheel, it usually doesn't drive us towards connection. It drives us straight into frustration, resentment, and emotional burnout. It takes every ounce of peace we walk in with and starts draining it drop by drop. But when you're trying to win the moment, when we often lose in the relationship, we lose the softness, we lose the presence, we lose the chance to actually be with each other. Think about it. Maybe it's your sister who always has an opinion about your life choices, your parent who still thinks and sees you through the lens of who you used to be, not who you're becoming to be, or that friend who loves to stir the pot just enough to see what boils and bubbles to the surface. You know the signs. Your shoulders tighten, your breath gets shallow. You feel the inner lawyer stepping up to the mic, ready to build a whole case. But before you go to court, ask yourself this one grounding question. The question that has saved my peace more times than I can count. Do I want to be right or do I want to be free? Because, see, peace isn't found in proving your point. Peace is in protecting your energy. Peace is found in choosing your emotional freedom over the temporary high of winning. And friends, Freedom lasts a whole lot longer than being right ever will. Now, let's talk about grace actually looks like in the real world. Not the pretty Pinterest version, but the human holiday. Someone just said something sideways, and I'm trying to stay in my grown woman peace version. Yes, grace is not a weakness, grace is wisdom. Grace is choosing to stay aligned with who you are becoming, not who you used to be, triggered by. Grace is learning you don't have to match somebody's energy. You can rise above it without losing yourself. And that, my friend, is emotional maturity on full display. So let me give you a few grace and action moments that you can carry into this season. Let's call the first one the pause before the fire. You know that moment when someone's words hit the old bruise and your body reacts before your brain catches up. Grace lives in that pause. A simple breath can keep you from giving away your peace. You can quietly tell yourself, this moment doesn't need my reaction, it needs my peace. That one sentence shifts the whole room without you saying a single thing out loud. Okay, how about number two? And this one, my friend, is a goodie. Releasing the I told you so. Yeah, this one has some teeth and some grit. I told you so wants to come out so fast sometimes, and it doesn't because validation feels good. We want to be acknowledged. But here's the truth saying it rarely helps anything heal. Grace allows you to soften and think. It allows you to think like, their growth isn't my victory lap. Instead of, I told you this is going to happen, try, I'm here if you need support. Or, we'll figure it out. Notice how the energy shifts. It goes from proving to partnering. How about language that loves instead of lashes? This is number three. Grace doesn't silence your truth, it upgrades your delivery. And here are a few sailor style phrases that you can use to keep your peace and protect your heart. Instead of, you never listen, try, can I share how I'm feeling for a moment? How about, instead of, that's not what happened, try, I remembered a little differently. Want to hear my side? And how about, instead of, you're wrong, try, I see it differently. And that's okay. These phrases don't sugarcoat anything. They just create space for truth and connection to exist at the same time. All right, number four. Here's number four, and this one is a doozy. Letting people be who they are, even if you don't love it. Yeah, seriously. This one's a big one. Grace is realizing you don't have to fix anyone to be at peace with them. Family members might not change. Old patterns might pop up. Someone might still try to get a reaction out of you. That's their lane. And your job, stay in your lane. Stay in your light. Stay in your peace. One of my go to inner reminders is this. And by all means, you may accept it, adopt it, use it. But my go to inner reminder is this. I don't need to join that energy. I can stay home with myself. Yes, you may borrow that. You may use it. I don't need to join that energy. I can stay home with myself. Grace lets people be themselves without you abandoning yourself. So this time around, stay in your lane and let them stay in theirs. And number 5, choosing love without losing boundaries. Grace is not rolling over. Grace is not pretending everything's fine. Grace is loving people in a way that doesn't cost you your sanity. No. So you can say, I love you, and I'm going to step away for a minute. That's grace. Or, that conversation doesn't feel good to me, so I'm going to pass this time. Yes, that's grace. Or, I care about us too much to argue about this. Yes, that is grace and boundaries working hand in hand. And here's the biggest truth. Grace isn't about them. It's about you, your peace, your healing, your growth, your freedom. And when you choose grace, you're telling your nervous system, your inner child, and your future self, I deserve peace and I'm going to protect it. And that, my friend, is gratitude in action. That is emotional maturity. That is power without force. So let's slow down for a moment. And I want you to go ahead and take a breath with me. So a nice, easy one in and out. Just letting your shoulders soften a little. And I want you to bring to mind someone in your life who tends to challenge your peace. It might be a family member who always has something to say, a friend who pushes your buttons without even trying, or a person who only sees during the holidays, but they somehow still hit that old bruise. Somehow they do it. So you got that person in mind? Yeah? Good. Now, don't judge the feeling that comes up. Just notice it. And now imagine this. You're walking into your next interaction with them and you're grounded and you're calm. You're centered. You're already chosen. Grace beyond a word has even been spoken. See yourself staying rooted in your truth. See yourself responding with love instead of reacting from old patterns. See yourself breathing instead of bracing yourself. See yourself choosing freedom instead of the need to be right. Now feel how different that is in your body. Feel how much lighter that this version of you is. That right there is the power of grace. If the gift you give yourself long before the holidays gather even begins, and it's a gift you deserve every single day of the year, it's the power of grace. And you can give yourself permission to live in that power. So let's talk about this gratitude in action. So, when we talk about gratitude, most people think about saying thank you or looking around the table and appreciating the blessings in front of us. And yes, that's part of it. Real gratitude, it goes deeper than words. Gratitude is how we choose to show up. It's the softness that we carry in our hearts. It's the willingness to release the things and the reactions that no longer serve the person we're becoming. Gratitude is an energy, a posture, a choice. So when you choose peace over pride, that's gratitude. When you choose grace instead of needing to be right, that's gratitude. When you protect your energy instead of trying to win the moment, you are saying to yourself, I am thankful for my growth. I am thankful for my peace. And I don't need to fight for either. That is gratitude in action. That is your healing speaking. That is your evolution showing up at the dinner table quietly, confidently, and beautifully. So let's go ahead and anchor in our affirmation for this week. I choose peace over pride. I release the need to be right and embrace the power of love and grace. Take a breath with that. Go ahead and repeat it to yourself. I choose peace over pride. I release the need to be right and embrace the power of love and grace. Let it settle in. And here is a quote, simple yet powerful. When you let go of the need to be right, you open the door to being at peace. Yes. Now, isn't that the truth? So as you move through the holiday season, and I know and I hope you carry grace like a secret superpower tucked right in your pocket, ready any time that you need it. I hope that you bless the room with your peace and not your proof. And I hope you remember that freedom, emotional freedom, always feels better than being right. So until next time, my beautiful friends, be gentle with yourself. Stay grounded in gratitude. Give yourself some grace and ease this holiday season. And remember, you are the peace you seek. This beautifully completes your full Soulful Saturday with Sailor episode. Grace over being right, choosing peace this holiday season. All right, my beautiful souls, thank you for being here. This is Cindy with Soulful Saturdays with Sailor.